people, music lovers, welcome to another episode of MPJ, Musical People and Journeys, new rock review show. I'm your host Nigel. Welcome to Simon and to Chris and to Trish. We are reviewing the latest rock albums that have been released, and we give them a rating out of 5 for our listening pleasure. And then if it might even get to a Hall of Fame, but it's coming up to that time of year, we might even get into Album of the Year. Who knows? Today's offering is Charlotte Wessels and her album Obession. So Charlotte has been trained in both jazz singing and classical singing. She was first trained in jazz, but later her instructor suggested classical singing to her. However, Wessels stated she found classical training to be too restrictive, and she likes to do something in between classical and jazz stuff. So if you look for the classical music with high vocal lines, you kind of get to gothic very soon. Now, this lady's wonderful lady's had a real career. She was with Elysium for 5 years, from 2000 to 2005. Now, Elysium got one of our third best album last year, but she obviously won that. And then she was in Delain from 2005 to 2021. I could basically go on and on with this wonderful lady's history. But I would say that in May 2021, during an interview, she reflected on her departure from Delain in February, stating that she was grateful she got work with other musicians in the band. So obviously striking out on her own. Now there's whispers that Chris might be striking out on his own with his own show. Is that right? Surely not.
I hadn't heard anything about this.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
which if I haven't heard, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, you could go solo if you want, but it's a rumour, you know.
I don't think I'd be nearly as interested as this show is, so I think I should stick around for a bit longer.
Yeah, you're probably right. What do you think of Charlotte Wessels and Obession? Were you obsessed?
I was a bit, yes. It kind of ticked a lot of boxes for me. It's loud, it's brash, it's deliciously heavy, starts off in your face and keeps going. There are some more introspective songs once you get into the middle of the album, but it needs to slow down a bit, take a breath, and then come back in. There's a real balance balance of tones here. The heavy instruments with Charlotte's voice over the top is brilliant. I mean, Chasing Sunsets and Crying Room are two standout tracks as far as I'm concerned. There's a few instances where we go a little bit into metalcore or growler. I think the song The Exorcism is the one where it kind of shows up most, which is unfortunate as far as I'm concerned. We discussed this quite a lot on the channel. But I don't think it was overdone here. It's just there was more than there needed to be, which sounds like it could be overdone, but it wasn't to the point where I took marks away for it. So, I really enjoyed it. It's been quite a good month this month for music.
Now, somebody that we're all obsessed about, okay, and that's Trish. Don't tell her. But Trish, what did you think about Obession? And it's not the perfect Obession.
No, but I did used to wear that back in the day.
Did you?
That's another story. Yeah, Calvin Klein Obession.
Let's share the story.
Anyway, this is the Charlotte Wessels session. First thing I clocked on the track list is the second track is with Simone Simmons, who obviously reviewed her solo album last month. I had not heard of Charlotte Wessels before, or as her own. Obviously, Delain I do know of, and our friends at Edge of Paradise are actually supporting Delain on their next tour. # just saying there, throw that in. But from the opening track, I agree with Chris, Chasing Sunsets. You can hear she has a very distinct sound to her voice, giving me Illumishade vibes in a way. So I had to Google her as I recognised her sound and tone, and then saw that she was in Delain. The track with Simone Simmons, Dopamine, is dynamite with two powerhouses joining forces. Really love the track Solstice, even though it's quite melodic, but there was something about it that swept you along with it. This is a good, solid solo offering of symphonic power metal pop rock album for a rock chick.
Now, some people say Simon's Secret of the Weekend is also a rock chick. That again, that's a rumour, which we won't go into. But Simon, what did you think of Charlotte?
I can't believe you'd air my secret live on YouTube. As a Delain, former Delain fan, I was excited to hear about this new venture from Charlotte. Although I don't think it's her first solo work, but it's the first time hearing of it. And I'm not disappointed. This sort of bounding operatic vocals with symphonic prog rock. It's always a beautiful pairing, and this album, I think, nails it on every front. There's a great variety of styles in here as well. There's some of the darker sequences contrasted against like the bit of gospel singing and stuff, and then you've got the duet one as well. There's a lot to love in this album. Weirdly, for me, the only drawback with the album is that it's strange to say this. I wouldn't actively listen to it like in the car or something, for example. Like, it's because each song is like this beautiful piece, but it's not the kind of thing I'd like hastily consume. It's the kind of thing that I want to sit and enjoy. And I think that's actually the only thing that puts the album down slightly for me, is that like everything's just this individual, unique, beautiful piece, and therefore like it has a time and a place where you should listen to it, at least for me. But yeah, it's a bit of an odd way to feel about it, but yeah, it's a fantastic album, and I hope we get to hear more from her.
No, I tend to agree with you. I think overall it was a fantastic album, and I really, 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 really liked it, but I didn't love it, and I couldn't. And I kept thinking about it because there were 3 songs in there that were outstanding: The Exorcism, Crime Room, wow, what a song, and All You Are. Just unbelievable tunes, and I'm going like, why am I not like really loving this one? And actually, one of the reasons did the duet, which was Simone Simmons, which we reviewed last month, and I think that it was a better album. I thought she was just fantastic. And the other problem, which Trish has also mentioned, which I compared against, is Edge of Paradise, and I found it quite similar to Edge of Paradise. And I didn't think it was as good as Edge of Paradise either. So, not to say that this was I didn't enjoy the album, because I really, really did. But for me, just that, because you can't help but compare, can you? You can't help it. It's what we do. And I think just off the back of the Simone Simmons, and then we watched Edge of Paradise in concert as well. Just for me, just took that edge off it a little bit, and I ended up comparing, and I went, "This is brilliant." But if I combine both of those bands, I probably would get this one, and I don't think it was quite as good, but it was still very, very, very good. But how good did we think it was? Simon, what
can I just say, I actually compare Charlotte to Edge of Paradise. I compared her to Illumishade.
No, I know, you mentioned, I just said you mentioned Edge of Paradise. I didn't say you compared. All I said was you mentioned Edge of Paradise. I didn't say you compared with it, so there we go. Simon?
Ooh, I gave it a big old 4.
Chris?
I gave it a big old 4 as well.
Do you know something, guys? I also give it a big old 4. Oh my god! Trish, what did you give it?
I gave it a 5.
Oh well.
Sorry, guys.
3.5. Now, guess what we'll give it?
I don't know. Knowing Will, it's either a 0 or a 5.
Well, no. There's something spooky happened here. He gave it a 4.5.
Oh.
Oh wow.
So,
Wow.
so guess what? So guess what the overall score was?
It's got to be a 7.5 now, isn't it? Yay!
Yeah, so give it a 4. Congratulations to Charlotte into our Hall of Fame, which is absolutely fantastic. Is our joint second best album of the month. Joint second. 26 out of our 142 albums of the year, and 67th out of our 444 albums that we have reviewed since doing this show, which is incredible. So she's a possibility. She might get a wild card into our album of the year. Who knows? She's going to be in the list for the wild card of the year. So there we go. Congratulations to Charlotte. Welcome to the MPJ Hall of Fame for a fantastic album. Well done. Look forward to hearing more of what you've got to offer. Anyway, thank you much to my wicked panel, to Chris, and to Simon, and to my rock chick Trish. Bye for now, everybody. Hey,
Bye.
Well,
leave a comment. Maybe like and subscribe. Do you agree?
Hey.
Bye for now. Ciao.
No.
bye bye.